Hello and welcome back to another intriguing exploration with Parry This. Today, we dive into a pivotal moment in American history, the Battle of Gettysburg during the American Civil War, but with a unique twist. We're going to examine the battle, the tactics, and the weaponry of that era, and then venture into a fascinating hypothetical. What if a 50-man contingent of American soldiers from World War II were sent back in time to this battle to aid the Confederates in winning Pickett's charge? These soldiers, drawn from the battlefields of 1944, are seasoned veterans, handpicked for their combat prowess and strategic acumen. Their mission is clear yet daunting: change the course of the Civil War by securing a Confederate victory at Gettysburg. Our World War II expeditionary force will be equipped with the advanced weaponry of their era, limited in ammunition but superior in almost every other aspect. But before delving into this alternate reality, let's first set the stage with a detailed look at the actual historical Battle of Gettysburg, specifically the infamous Pickett's Charge. Section 1. Background. The Battle of Gettysburg. In the sweltering summer of 1863, the rolling hills of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania became the epicenter for one of the most pivotal battles in the American Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg. Lasting from July 1st to July 3rd, was not a confrontation of armies, but a clash of tactics, strategies, and technologies that defined the era of the American Civil War. As the Confederate Army led by General Robert E. Lee marched into Pennsylvania, their aim was bold and clear: to secure a decisive victory on Union soil. The Union Army of the Potomac, commanded by General George Meade, met Lee's forces in a confrontation that would draw over 164,000 soldiers into battle. The Union troops, numbering around 93,000, held a numerical advantage over the approximately 71,000 Confederate soldiers. The strategies employed by both sides were reflected of a period caught between the old and the new in military warfare. Lee's tactics at Gettysburg were characterized by aggressive assaults, aimed at exploiting perceived weaknesses in the Union lines. This approach often involved direct infantry charges, bolstered by artillery support. On the other side, the Union Army adopted a more defensive posture, utilizing the terrain to fortify their positions and counterattack when opportunities arose. The weaponry of this era was a mix of innovation and tradition. The rifled musket, notably the Springfield Model 1861 for the Union and the British Pattern 1853 Enfield for the Confederates, was the primary infantry weapon. These rifles, with an effective range of about 400 yards and most combat occurring within 100 to 200 yards, brought a new level of lethality to the battlefield. Artillery, including smoothbore cannons like the 12-pounder Napoleon and rifled cannons like the 3-inch ordnance rifle, played a crucial role in softening enemy lines before an assault. Soldiers typically carried 40 to 60 rounds of Minet ball ammunition, which significantly improved the effectiveness of the rifled muskets. A key moment of the battle, Pickett's Charge, unfolded on the third day. General Lee, in a bold move, ordered an assault on the Union center at Cemetery Ridge, involving about 12,500 Confederate soldiers. Preceded by a heavy artillery bombardment, the objective was to break the Union line, potentially turning the tide of the battle. However, as the Confederate troops advanced across the open field, they faced a barrage of rifle and artillery fire from the well-entrenched Union forces. The charge ended in a devastating loss for the Confederates, with over half of the participants killed, wounded, or captured. This catastrophic failure marked the end of the Confederate offensive at Gettysburg and was a turning point in the war. The Battle of Gettysburg, and Pickett's Charge in particular, highlighted the deadly consequences of traditional assault tactics against fortified positions and the evolving lethal nature of mid-19th century warfare. Section 2. Background. The World War II American soldiers. As we delve into the heart of our hypothetical scenario, we introduce a unique and formidable element to the Battle of Gettysburg: a contingent of 50 World War II American soldiers. This group, plucked from the fierce battlefields of 1944, represents a striking contrast to the soldiers of the Civil War era, not just in terms of experience, but also in the sophistication of their equipment and weaponry. These soldiers are battle-hardened veterans, having faced the horrors and complexities of modern warfare. They are adept in a range of combat scenarios, from open field battles to urban warfare, and have been conditioned to adapt quickly to rapidly changing situations on the battlefield. Their training in combined arms tactics and experience in coordinating with artillery and armor units, although not directly applicable in the Civil War context, have honed their strategic thinking and combat skills. The standard armament of a World War II American infantryman M1 was a testament to the technological advancements of the early 20th century. The primary weapon for most of these soldiers was the M1 Garand, a semi-automatic rifle that offered a significant advantage in rate of fire and reloading speed over the bolt-action rifles of World War I. With an 8-round en-bloc clip and an effective range of up to 500 yards, the M1 Garand allowed a soldier to deliver accurate and sustained fire, a capability far beyond the reach of the Civil War-era muskets. In addition to the M1 Garand, some soldiers might have been equipped with an M1 Carbine, a lighter and more compact semi-automatic rifle ideal for close-quarters combat with an effective range of about 300 yards. For support roles, the Browning Automatic Rifle, or BAR, provided the firepower of a light machine gun capable of firing a 20-round magazine in either semi-automatic or fully automatic mode. The soldier's arsenal also included an M1911 pistol, a reliable and powerful sidearm with a 7-round magazine, and hand grenades like the Mark II, effective for clearing trenches or bunkers. While their ammunition was limited, the efficiency and lethality of their weapons compensated for this constraint. Moreover, these World War II soldiers were equipped with portable radios, enabling a level of communication unthinkable in the 1860s. Their uniforms, made of more durable and functional materials, provided better protection and comfort. The steel helmets they wore offered significant protection against shrapnel and other battlefield hazard. Introducing these World War II soldiers into the Battle of Gettysburg, particularly during Pickett's charge, creates a fascinating juxtaposition. Their advanced weaponry and combat experience would disrupt the traditional tactics of the Civil War, potentially altering the course of the battle in unforeseen ways. As we explore this hypothetical situation, it's crucial to consider not only the technological superiority of these soldiers, but also the psychological impact that their presence and firepower would have on a 19th century battlefield. Section 3, Scenario Setup. In our speculative narrative, a twist of fate and the mysterious machinations of time transport 50 World War II American soldiers back to July 3, 1863, the decisive day of the Battle of Gettysburg. This anachronistic insertion of modern soldiers into a Civil War battle sets the stage for a fascinating exploration of historical what-ifs. The soldiers find themselves in the early morning hours preceding Pickett's charge, amidst the Confederate lines. They are quickly briefed by a bewildered, yet determined Confederate command who, after overcoming their initial shock, realized the potential advantages these soldiers from the future could provide. The World War II soldiers are informed about the impending charge, its significance, and the desperate need for a breakthrough against the Union forces. Their orders are straightforward yet daunting. Assist the Confederate forces in breaking the Union lines at Cemetery Ridge. The objective is to use their superior firepower and tactical knowledge to turn the tide in favor of the Confederates during Pickett's charge. This mission, if successful, could not only alter the outcome of the battle, but potentially change the course of the entire Civil War. The World War II soldiers, while grappling with the reality of their situation, quickly begin to adapt to their new environment. They recognize that their presence and actions could drastically reshape history. With their advanced weaponry and combat experience, they hold the potential to significantly bolster the Confederate assault. However, they also understand the limitations of their situation. Limited ammunition, the absence of modern communication with their own command, and the need to integrate with an army operating with vastly different tactics and technology. Their strategy is to position themselves as a cohesive unit, leveraging their firepower to maximum effect while minimizing their exposure to the unfamiliar 19th century combat. They plan to provide covering fire, disrupt Union defenses, and create openings for Confederate forces to exploit. The World War II soldiers also aim to target key Union positions, such as artillery emplacements and command posts, to sow confusion and weaken the Union's defensive capabilities. As the hours tick down to the commencement of Pickett's charge, the World War II soldiers ready their weapons and prepare for a battle that they never could have imagined participating in. They stand on the precipice of history, poised to play a pivotal role in one of the most iconic moments of the American Civil War. Section 4, Tactical Analysis. The insertion of 50 World War II American soldiers into the Confederate ranks at the Battle of Gettysburg presents a profound tactical shift, particularly for Pickett's charge. Their presence introduces a set of capabilities previously unimaginable by 19th century warfare, fundamentally altering the dynamics of the engagement. Some advantages brought by World War II soldiers. Number 1, firepower superiority. The most immediate and impactful advantage is the sheer firepower the World War II soldiers bring. The M1 Garand, with its semi-automatic firing capability and superior range and accuracy, would enable a volume of accurate fire that Confederate forces could never have achieved with their muzzle-loading rifles. The Browning Automatic Rifle, or BAR, would provide a level of suppressive fire that could pin down Union soldiers and disrupt their formations. Number 2, improved communication. The portable radios carried by the World War II soldiers, though limited in range and utility in this scenario, would still offer a level of battlefield communication far beyond that of Civil War armies. This could enhance coordination, especially within their unit, and allow for more dynamic and responsive tactics. Number 3, enhanced morale and psychological impact. The mere presence of these technologically technologically advanced soldiers and their weaponry could have a significant psychological impact on both Confederate and Union forces. For the Confederates, it could boost morale, while for the Union, the unexpected and devastating effectiveness of these new weapons could lead to confusion and fear. Some disadvantages and challenges: number 1, limited ammunition. The most significant limitation for the World War II soldiers is their finite ammunition supply. Once depleted, their advanced weaponry becomes ineffective, making conservation and strategic use of their firepower crucial. Number 2, risk of isolation. Operating in a battlefield environment vastly different from what they are trained for, there is a risk that the World War II soldiers could become isolated from the Confederate forces, reducing their effectiveness and potentially making them targets for Union countermeasures. Number 3, potential disruption of Confederate tactics. While the World War II soldiers bring advanced tactics and strategies, their integration into the Confederate battle plan would be challenging. Their presence could disrupt the established command structure and battle rhythms of the Confederate forces. Impact on Pickett's charge. The original charge involved a long advance over open fields, facing intense Union artillery and rifle fire. The World War II soldiers, utilizing their weaponry's range, could provide covering fire much earlier in the advance, potentially suppressing Union artillery and infantry. Their ability to target Union commanders and key positions from a distance could create disarray in the Union defenses. However, this advantage must be balanced against the realities of Civil War tactics and the chaotic nature of 19th century battlefields. The World War II soldiers would need to be judicious in their engagement, ensuring they support rather than supplant the Confederate strategy. Overall, the inclusion of the World War II soldiers would not only bring a technological edge, but would also necessitate a re-evaluation of traditional Civil War tactics. Their presence could significantly bolster the Confederate assault, but the outcome would hinge on how effectively they could integrate their advanced capabilities into the broader context of Pickett's charge. Section 5. Hypothetical battle progression. As the sun rose over the fields of Gettysburg on that fateful third day, the atmosphere was tense with anticipation. The Confederate troops, bolstered by the unexpected addition of 50 World War II soldiers, prepared for what would be known as Pickett's charge. This pivotal moment in our alternate history unfolds with dramatic and unforeseen consequences. Early phase: suppressive fire and initial shock. The charge begins with a thunderous artillery barrage, a common prelude to Civil War assaults. However, as the Confederate forces start their advance, the World War II soldiers, positioned strategically along the line, open fire with their M1 Garands and BARs. The rapid and precise shots create an immediate disorienting effect on the Union soldiers. Accustomed to a slower rate of fire from rifled muskets, the Union forces are caught off guard by this unexpected and relentless volley. The World War II soldiers target Union artillery positions and command posts, aiming to disrupt the leadership and coordination of the Union defense. The effectiveness of their fire significantly reduces the Union's retaliatory capacity, providing a window of opportunity for the main Confederate forces to advance, with fewer casualties than in the original timeline. Mid-phase: advancing under cover and tactical adjustments. As the Confederate line moves forward, the World War II soldiers adjust their tactics. They switch from long-range targeting to covering fire, facilitating the advance of the Confederate infantry. The BAR gunners lay down suppressive fire, forcing some Union soldiers to take cover and momentarily stalling their counterattack. Meanwhile, the M1 Garand riflemen take advantage of their semi-automatic rifles, picking off Union soldiers who expose themselves. This continuous fire support begins to tilt the balance in favor of the Confederates, allowing them to close the distance more effectively than in the historical charge. Late phase: close combat and exhaustion of ammunition. As the distance narrows, the combat becomes more intense. The World War II soldiers, now closer to the Union lines, find themselves engaging in a more chaotic and traditional Civil War combat. They continue to provide significant support, but their ammunition starts to dwindle. The BAR teams, having expended most of their ammunition in suppressive fire, now use their sidearms and engage in closer combat. The Confederate forces, encouraged by the initial successes and lesser resistance, push forward with renewed vigor. However, they are still subjected to heavy fire from the Union defenses, which, although disrupted, are far from neutralized. Climactic confrontation and outcome. In the climactic moments of the charge, the Confederate forces, with the support of the World War II soldiers, reach the Union lines. The fighting becomes hand to hand, and the technological advantages of the World War II soldiers diminish in close combat. The Union forces, although shaken, begin to rally and mount a stiff defense. The outcome of this altered Pickett's charge hinges on numerous factors: the Confederate Army's ability to capitalize on the initial disruption, the endurance of the World War II soldiers as their ammunition depletes, and the resilience of the Union soldiers in the face of an unprecedented assault. In this hypothetical scenario, the World War II soldiers' participation creates significant initial gains for the Confederates. However, the ultimate success of Pickett's charge in this alternate history would depend not just on their advanced weaponry, but also on the complex interplay of morale, leadership, and the raw determination of both sides in this pivotal moment in the Civil War. Section 7. Potential outcomes, and historical impact. The inclusion of World War II soldiers in Pickett's charge could have had far-reaching implications beyond the immediate outcome of the battle. A Confederate victory at Gettysburg, bolstered by the superior firepower and tactics of the World War II contingent, might have prolonged the war, altering the political and military landscape. Such a victory could have boosted Southern morale, potentially leading to increased international recognition and support for the Confederacy. Conversely, the North might have responded with intensified military efforts and strategic changes, potentially leading to a more prolonged and destructive conflict. The long-term impact on American history would be profound, potentially reshaping the nation's development in ways that are complex and multifaceted. In conclusion, the hypothetical scenario of introducing 50 World War II American soldiers into the Battle of Gettysburg, particularly during Pickett's charge, presents a fascinating blend of historical fact and speculative fiction. This analysis has explored the tactical shifts, potential outcomes, and the broader historical implications of such an event. While it remains in the realm of alternative history, this exercise offers valuable insights into the evolution of military technology and tactics, and the pivotal moments that shape historical narratives. It underscores the notion that history is often a delicate tapestry of events, where small changes can have monumental consequences. As we close this imaginative journey through time and history, we are reminded of the intricate interplay between technology, strategy, and human valor that defines warfare. While the scenario of World War II soldiers participating in the Civil War battlefield is of course fictional, it encourages us to ponder the various threads that weave the fabric of history. As always, I invite you to consider other such hypothetical scenarios to explore the rich tapestry of our past and the endless possibilities of what-ifs. Thank you for joining me in this exploration, and until next time, keep pondering history's fascinating what-ifs. But that's all for today, and I'll see you on the next battlefield.